Hey guys, welcome back to My Flash Funding YouTube channel. Today we have Justin with us, who is a funded trader of My Flash Funding. And in today's interview, we're going to deep dive into his story, how he became a profitable funded trader, how he completed the evaluation of My Flash Funding, his trading strategy that he used to complete the evaluation and that he uses to trade on his funded account, his risk management, and everything that you need to know about how successful traders pass the evaluation. But just before we do that, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And also make sure that you watch this interview until the end, because somewhere in the video, we're going to talk about the $10,000 My Flash Funding account giveaway. So you make sure that you watch it until the end so you know how to participate in the $10,000 My Flash Funding account giveaway. So congratulations, man, on passing the evaluation, getting the funding account. Tell us something about yourself, who you are, where are you from?
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Justin. I'm based in the UK. Been there all my life. Like everyone else, always finding a way to make more money. You do your 9 to 5 job. It's a career, but at the same time, when you get home, you can either be on Netflix all day long, or evening, should I say, and just watching and just not growing. But I've always had an interest in banking,
Yeah.
finance, and we've watched the films, The Wolf of Wall Street, and all of the other type of trading films. And it piqued my interest. So I've just went online, started to check how it was, what trading was about, and yeah, it just took my curiosity from there. So yeah, young man in the UK, as a lot of the guys out there, just looking for something to fulfillment and to make more money.
That's nice. That's nice. I also live in the UK, by the way. I've been living here for
Nice.
like last few years. And
Right.
I remember like when I first started, I also watched Wolf of Wall Street. And when I saw Jordan Belfort, I was like, man, that's the life that I want. So I think
Yeah, for
that's the
sure.
case when every new guy who starts trading, who watched that movie, it's the same case. So congratulations, man. You made
Absolutely.
it so far. And tell us like how you started, like how long was it ago when you started trading? What was your trading journey? How you started learning, how you became profitable?
Sure. Well, the journey for training was a very long one. It was an expensive one as well.
Yeah.
But they always say you either pay for someone to learn or you pay the market to learn.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very expensive one. So I started back in 2007. So it's been a long time. So I kind of got the swift of trading through YouTube. The internet was it was quite new them days as well. So there wasn't so much content online. So I went to W. Smith, picked up a book called The Naked Trader. That was the
Yeah.
first book I ever read. And it just, told how it was, but it classes. Or before I tried to trade it, and it just didn't. And the number one class that kept on coming up was Knowledge for Action. That's what
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
but I think their name's changed by now. I think it's run by Greg Strecker, one of this was back in 2007. So I jumped on it. I paid my money. Class for the lessons was like for 2 or 3 hours a day, and it was probably like 7 days. And they just gave us the background regards to trading. What is it all about? And then they gave us some sort of like not a live, not an account, but they gave us access to their platform, and then we just funded our account and we tried to trade. After a year, 2 years after that, it still wasn't working. So again, went to do another course with them. So I probably did 3 courses with them altogether. I also did a course where I was with a mentor, where he, we see him once a month, what you've been doing, and you kind of got the understanding. And you was winning on a demo account, but it wasn't the same. And it probably took like 5 this large size account to be able to percent, and you only put £1,000. Mindset starts to get into you. 2 trades, 3 trades, your account's gone. So I've had days where I've blown accounts. So I've
Yeah.
probably gone through 5, 6, 7 accounts that I've blown. But the mission from 6 years after that was to find a company that will sponsor you. So a prop trade firm. And my then goal was to trade via dummy, to keep on trading by a demo account and build up a CV. So then eventually you can approach a prop trader firm, send the CV over and say, this is what I've been doing, and send your Excel sheets to show your trades when you took it,
Yeah.
the
Makes sense.
currency pairs, etc. So they can get it. But I never had a chance to even get to that line, but bills and work, all these things, got involved. So you kind of put on the side and hope one day you come back. But you dibble dabble in the market once you see it. You go in there, but you can't really go in there and do so much because you don't have the funds. And then, you're doing it in the demo, it gets frustrating after a while because even though you're demoing, it's not the real thing and you're not making profit. Because I think profits or seeing your account size go up demo is good, but it's not physically cash. And another
Yeah.
thing as well is that once the money's real, live account, the emotions are quite different. But everyone's different. But from the traders that I've seen in the past or that are around me, your emotions different when it's live money. So over time, in the last 2 years, a lot of prop firms have been popping up. I think the first one I ever saw was Fiverr.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that firm was interesting. That had different type of platforms for you to do, but again, there was a lot of restrictions. Then I see FTMO was out there again, some sort of restriction, and over time you just started seeing more and more different prop firms coming into the market, into the space. Then it kind of opened up the pool. They started to relax on the restrictions, and then I thought, oh well, this is quite nice. So we're now last year January is when I actually said, okay, you know what, I'm going to go back and try this now. I'm going to try and purchase 100K accounts. From I can't remember which platform it was from, but I purchased one. And I tried it, did my strategy, and maybe I got too greedy and I blew it.
Oh yeah.
And I probably went through two other accounts as well through that, being quite greedy, trying different EAs as well. And, that was another factor that kind of blew my account. So eventually there's some sort of comparative website where you have all the different prop firms. And I saw Flash. So I thought, okay,
Yeah.
it's interesting. One day you have the one day trade that once you trade that one day, that's it, that's one challenge passed. Then you have the 10%, and you got to look at which ones are the best ones, where they give you what's your maximum drawdown overall, and then your drawdown for the day. You kind of compare it with the price, and then compare it with the payouts. So all those things come into consideration. And I saw Flash, and I thought, okay, I'll try Flash. It's between Flash and another platform. So I tried Flash, and yeah, I was very successful in doing so, in definitely passing. And once I passed, obviously I had a big grin on my face, and something that I achieved, and it was done through not through the EA, it was just done through the normal general knowledge I've learned through trading. If you have been in the market or in trading as long as I have, you realize that you got fundamentals, you got technicals, you got naked charts, price actions. There's so much things out there, but you have to trade what you see.
Yeah.
It's not trade how you feel. You have to trade what you see. You have some sort of knowledge of what's going on, if interest rates are going up, if CPIs are coming out. You have that general knowledge, as all traders should have. But what's the key thing is what you see is what you're going to react on. So if you see a certain price action around a certain supply demand areas or resistance support area, and it's got that kind of trend that's going on, that's where you go into. Understanding whether it's a currency pair, if there's any news coming out or not, that might affect the trade while you're in it. These all have to be basically put into consideration. And if you just keep to the basic, I think that's the best way you can pass it. I'm not saying that you can't pass with EAs or certain strategies. You can, because there's various traders that do.
Makes sense.
But
Yeah.
for me, I kept it simple, and that's the best way I my trading history.
Man, one hell of a journey. Started from 2017. Now it's 2023. Not even 23, 24 now. So it's been like almost more than 16 years. That's very incredible. You have seen all the phases basically of the market. I remember I started
Yes.
in 2017, and for me, like, because I was a student at that time, I just started doing my bachelor's in late 2016. So I was starting out my second semester in the university. Then I started learning forex. I was intrigued by the market, that how it moves, how you can make money. So I started, at a very young age, and you also started at a very young age. And it's incredible to see when I talk to my fellow funded traders. Sometimes you get that feeling, you get that happiness when you see someone struggle through all the way and then reached one point where once you wanted to reach, and you're also there waiting at that point to see how successful traders are going to be successful. So it's definitely very exciting to see. So you started, you said like there was one more firm between these two. You decided to go with my flash funding. How's your experience so far
Yes.
with my flash funding, and how do you like the
Yeah, it's
execution,
been
like the sport and everything?
Yeah, definitely. I think they definitely are a good platform. I do love their customer service. I was looking for the live chat because I had an issue. I was looking at the live chat on the website. I couldn't find find it, and it was quite irritating. So I just went to my email, because I received an email from one of the guys there. I went to my email and I just sent an email back. Within 5 minutes, they replied. So I'm thinking, wow, that's interesting. Maybe it's just on my email. But every single time I basically spoke to them or
Yeah, yeah.
emailed them, within 5 minutes, they're back. They reply you there. So I have zero problems with the customer service. It's been great. So I definitely give them 10 out of 10 out of that, because it's amazing. The spreads as well, I don't have any problem with the spreads. It's great. I do follow them on social media. That's how I keep myself up to date. So I do follow them on X. I follow them on Discord. So I do keep in touch to see, because they do as well, some giveaways, some promotions, just
Yeah.
let you know what's new. So I definitely recommend to keep an eye on their social media, because it allows you to gain information as to what they're doing new, and you can benefit if you like one of the first ones to see it. So definitely, yeah, it's a definitely good platform.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Nice to hear, man. Can you share your screen and talk about your trading strategy that you use?
Sure, definitely. Just give me a second. So I did mention earlier on, I like when things are, naked chart. I don't really have a lot of tools you can see, or the RSI. I don't really use that. I kind of just use a naked chart,
Yeah, yeah.
and as you can see, all I have is a 200.
Yeah.
And this is the 1 hour chart. I like trading on the 1 hour chart. I used to do the 1 minute. Sometimes I do to allow me to get into a good entry. But it's the 1 hour chart that I love. I also go to daily to understand what's going on a bigger time frame. And the 1 hour is where I to understand if the 1 hour is somehow agreeing with a swing trader based
Yeah, yeah.
on larger time frames you support. And it's just basically doing a 1% of my account, which is very important, because it allows me to, especially with most of the platforms out there, you've probably got 3%, if I'm correct, or between 3 to 4% of a daily loss,
Yeah.
and 6% overall account loss. So I like to trade a percentage on the trade. If I'm not so much confident with the trade, maybe it's a B trade or C trade, then I'll probably go 0.25 or do half a percent. And once the trade is going in the way, then I can load up the other half of the percentage and let it hit target. So it's quite simple how I trade. I just look for the trend, what's the overall direction of the market on the 1 hour, and I will look on the daily just to back me up. So as you can see on the
Yeah, yeah.
daily, it's going up, as we can see it going up. So then on the 1 hour, I like to come in and get these 1% on the 1 hours. So for instance, we've seen on the daily it's going up. We can see on the 1 hour, you've got points of where it's going up. You have points when it's going down, and you have points when it's going up, because as you know, the market oscillates. So on the daily, if it's going up and it's going down at one point, on the 1 hour, it's going to go down as well. But I prefer to keep in the direction of the overall trend on a day. So on a day, it's going up. So when I know it's bounced and it's going up into the direction of the overall market, then I jump back on the 1 hour trade, my 1 hour time frame, and then I'll look for entry points and places where I know it's bouncing. So as you can see, you've had a big drop. It's come back up, it's dropped again. Around this area, I would then start, keeping my eye on it, because it's had 2 points where it's dropped. When whether the news came out here, I'm not too sure. I can't see exactly what day it was. The news came out, if it was the news, and it touched this area. And this area, it just didn't like. You've got like a long wick. And the
Yeah.
wick is showing me that this is the area they do not like. So it's gone back up and it's come back down. But around the same area, you can see that it's hit it again, didn't like it, and continued to go up. All this picture here, we don't see it. We only see this. So from this point, I've known it's touching again. I've known that this area is a strong support area. It
Yeah.
doesn't like it. What I now do is to ensure that it's going to move in the up direction as the daily. So it's gone up, it's come down, it's bounced one. For me, I call that one complete cycle. So that's one complete cycle in the trend. Then it's gone past this point. Once it's gone past this point, any pullback or roughly around this line, or at least 75% from the extension, is then where I'll look to go in.
Yeah.
But to make myself very comfortable, I like 2 cycles occurring, because when you have 2 cycles, then I know that it's definitely moving in the upwards direction. So once it's gone up, I've given it whether the 75% where it's extended, that's when I actually go in. So it will bounce roughly here, then I will place my trade in. And again, as I said, it'll be 1%. So it's whatever my account size is, I get the 1% of it. I then say to myself, where it's bounced, all I want it to do is pass the previous high.
Yeah.
So from where it's bouncing, for instance, this is the previous high. So if say we've gone in from here, it's bounced here, the previous high is there. I will check the distance in pips between those 2 points, and then I will divide that my 1% by that, and then it tells me how much would I be putting lot size.
Yeah.
Once it's done that, I will basically go into the trade, ensure my stop loss is underneath here,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it depends how tight the cycle is. So once I put my stop loss then I'll put my target above the high, but at the same time, it has to be a minimum of 1-to-1. So if the high is there and down here you've got maybe 20 pips, for instance, then I'm looking for anything 20 pips above. Once it's hit 20, and I'll let it continue going up. So now I've gone from it decide to come back down and hit this ball. If it continues going up, I don't really like going. So if I've traded here and it's gone up and it's bounced again, I'll go in again. But sometimes it depends on the daily. If I
Yeah.
see there's some sort of
Mm-hmm.
resistance support coming closer to the day, I will not continue putting trades as they go up. I will just keep on moving my stop loss from the first trade that I've taken. So in a nutshell, that's how I do the market. I trade the market. It's always basically on naked and what I see. And another thing that does help me when it comes to maybe going into the trade is to ensure that it's bouncing at some sort of point of resistance support. The
Yeah.
price action also has
Yeah.
to confirm to me that yes, it wants to go up. It's not all the time. There's no strategy out there that's 100%. It's impossible.
Yeah.
If it's somewhere around 65% upwards, then I'm comfortable. And when you're trading the trend, that's the percentage that I'm looking for, and that's fine with me as long as my risk management is handling the overall account. And that's very important as well. So my mindset when it comes to trading, if I had to go into this trade, is either it's going to keep on going up, hit my target point, or I'm going to have to make that loss. And I will accept to make the loss. So if I now lose 1%, I'll lose 1%. But the next time I put on a trade, I may not put 1%, I put 0.5%.
Yeah.
Because when you're trading with this platform and they're giving you a daily loss of maybe 4%, you can either get rid of the whole 4%. I
Yeah.
don't think that's a good idea. I always think you should have a buffer just in case you have a few trades that are bad. You can easily get into that 4% in that day, or you can easily you can go into your 6%. So I'm very conservative when it comes into trading. I've been aggressive before, but I think the best way I do it is just to be conservative because I don't have a lot of time to sit on the laptop and just, I've got my other work I do on a daily basis. So I prefer to put in a trade, leave it, let it hit take profit or stop loss. And if it hits its take profit, that's good. If I've come to the computer and I realize it is going in a direction, then yes, I can move my stop loss higher, break even, or pass, and I'll keep on moving my take profit higher or further away. So that's the way I like to do with trading. The other option as well that is helpful for me sometimes is put 2 half trades on. So one half, I'll leave it to hit the take profit, and the other half, I'll let it keep on running as long as I keep on moving my stop loss to break even, then to profit, and just let it run and try and catch the rest of the percentage. But for me, minimum is 1-to-1, so 1% of the account is good enough for me for the day. In a week, I try to do at least 2%. If I can't do 2%, I've got 1%. I'm happy with that. As I said, it's not for me to trade. I don't live off my trades. I have other jobs, but it's a hobby that I love, and it does make money in the months for me. So
That's perfect.
thank God how it is, and just hope it keeps on going that way. Yeah.
That's perfect. One of the very good thing that I liked about your trading style is that you're absolutely not using any sort of indicator other than the moving average, but that's totally fine. Most of the times when I talk to funded traders, they will be using 10 different type of indicators. And even I see a lot of new traders who come in the market, they think that indicators somehow are gonna help them become profitable trader, but that's not the case. If you keep your trading as simple as you can and just focus on the price action and pure price action, that's going to make you more than enough money that you can ever imagine. Because when you will be doing the analysis
Yes.
on your charts, everything is going to be very simple. You will have your rules written down on the paper that you need to follow XYZ before you enter in the trade, and you need to make sure at the time when you will be doing the analysis that try to avoid as much clutter as you can, so that way your trading
Yes.
is going to be very simple instead of it's going to be complicated. So let's talk about the risk management now. I remember when I was doing, when I was trading the personal account, I used to risk up to 3%. First of all, my account was under $10,000. And the second, because I could lose that 100% of the account, so I was okay by risking 2 or 3% on every single trade that I was taking. But when it comes to prop firm, at first when I did the FTMO challenge, I did not realize. But later on, I was able to understand that risk management when you do the challenge and risk management when you trade the fund account is always going to be different as compared to you trading your personal account. So what about your risk management?
Absolutely.
How did you adjust your risk management when you were trading the personal account and you transitioned to trading the prop firms?
Right. Yes, I think that's very important when it comes to. I think it's very important when it comes to risk management. There are rules that you need to follow. You pass and you start making your profit, whatever you've traded the highest, and then that goes into your equity and exactly what you can draw down. So when you've got that in mind, you know that you just can't be throwing on trades and risking percentage after percentage. Depending on the platform and depending on the rules, sometimes they are equity based.
Yeah,
So if you've made, it's a 100K account and you've done 2 or 3 trades and they're all running at the same time, and maybe you're in a profit of maybe 2,000 or 1,000, for instance, and they kind of, the trade went against you, so you're no longer at that height of maybe 2,100 and 200,000. You're now at 100,000. Sorry, 100 and 100,000. Yes,
yeah,
and you've closed that one or two trade, you closed that 2 trades, and now you didn't really make that target. That platform will still look at what was your highest watermark and then kind of calculate what your drawdown is.
yeah,
So, for instance, if it's a 100K account and you went up to 102, but now your balance is 101, you've now kind of lost that 1%. Your equity, they're counting that 1%. You can't really draw down more than that. It's no longer maybe 4%, it's now 3%. So you kind of have to be careful. You just can't be throwing on trades. So you kind of pick the best trade one at a time. For me, everyone's different. Or if you want to trade multiple, then don't do 1%, do 25% times four different trades, but at 25%.
yeah,
So I think the firms are, it's encouraging. It allows you to be more disciplined. You can't just, bombard your account because you're going to easily, be disqualified from the platform easily. So another statistics that I've seen with these prop trading firms is that a few people pass, but they don't keep the account for long.
yeah.
And once you
That's
see
true.
that statistic, just because you pass a challenge doesn't mean it's free throw. You still need to maintain the account.
Right.
And when you get paid out, again, it depends if your drawdown is going to be at 100K or is going to be whatever percentage daily or overall once you've taken that payout. So again, you need to be careful of that. So the best safest way is just to minimize how you trade. So put on one trade, risking 1%. And if my first trade is now in profit, there's the percent. It's important that you only trade 1% of your account. When it comes to managing that trade, if you want to stay in that trade, then it's good to move your stop loss to break even
Yeah,
once it's gone past
yeah.
the target point. You can adjust that target point, but at
Guys, if
least make sure you only lose 1%, or if it's gone more than near your target point, break even. Once you've got those two on taken care of, if the trade goes against you, you're only losing 1% or it's only break even. So, you'll be happy with that. Like this, you can maintain the account. So if you lose 1%, you still got 3% for that day. But if you're like me, that only basically put a trade on and then you wait for that trade to finish, or you wait for that trade to be fully in profit before you put another trade on, then, sometime it could be maybe one day, 2 days, it could be 1 hour.
yeah,
Depends on the market's moving. Or it could be 2 days, 3 days for that trade to be in the position that you want before you put another one. So again, for me, that allows me not to over trade. Had a small account, see that 1%. And before you know it, you've got before you get to the 1%, just margin you've got to trade on. So, eventually you end up blowing the account. So for me, I've learned from the past, and especially the way these prop firms are ran, that just do the one trade. It's a long term. Once you pass the prop firm, it's a long term goal. It's not something that you can get rich quick. It's about keeping it long term, applying for a challenge, passing that challenge, and just basically stacking up different accounts. And then before you know it, if you've got maybe 300K's accounts,
yeah.
that's 300,000. And then if you're doing 1% and you're at least making at least 2% every 3 or 4 months, that's 3 or 4 thousand. But I have some traders who are making 3% a month because they're doing 1% in each account. And each account doing 1%, you got 3 or 4 account, that's £3 or 4 thousand they make the month. So my advice is just, pass the challenge. Once you pass the challenge, it all starts all over again. You're now on a new challenge. That challenge now is to preserve the account. Why are you preserving that? Maybe buy another challenge and do the same thing and pass that. And then you just stack the challenge. So as you stack the challenge, you no longer have to be over trading. You can just try and aim for 1% for the whole month. But if you do that through 3 accounts, you'll be very profitable.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. Guys, if you're still watching, we talked about the $10,000 My Flash Funding account giveaway earlier on the interview. So the steps, they are very simple. First of all, you have to like this interview and subscribe to My Flash Funding YouTube channel. Second step is going to be you have to let us know in the comment section what did you learn from Justin so far from this interview. Third is going to be you have to join our Discord and also follow us on our Twitter. We have added our Discord community link and also our Twitter account link in the description. Make sure that you join our Discord and follow us on our Twitter for more updates about the new upcoming giveaways or any updates about My Flash funding in general. These 3 steps are very simple, so make sure that you follow every single step to win a $10,000 My Flash funding account. So let's deep dive into the recommendations. What would you recommend to every single one of the trader who is watching this interview right now? If they want to become the funded trader, what should they do?
Understand the rules of the challenge. That's the first thing first. Understand the rules. What will make you blow your account? Have a strategy that you know that you have tested.
Yeah,
Don't overcomplicate it. Just follow your strategy to the T.
yeah,
Make sure you have the right mindset. Just because you've got maybe money from this platform, it's not real until you actually pass the challenge. So yes, definitely don't get over carried away with that. Ensure that you follow your strategy and your risk management. So follow your strategy, risk management, mindset. Those are 3 things. I can't emphasize more on those things.
perfect, man. Thank you so much, man, for your time. And congratulations again on such a long journey to become a profitable trader. And now you are a profitable funded trader. And guys, if you want to get the funded account, make sure that you take the challenge now. We have the easiest profit targets in the industry in the 2 phase evaluation, only 6% for phase 1 of the evaluation and 6% for step 2 of the evaluation. You get 8% overall drawdown, which is an absolute drawdown in our 2-step evaluation, and also 4% daily drawdown with an incredible 80% bi-weekly payout to you. If you want to take the challenge, we have added the link in description. Use that link to take the challenge, pass it, and become funded trader in 2024. And thank you so much for watching until the end. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.